Are there tall buildings near your home? Yes, there are quite a few tall buildings near my home. I live in a bustling city area, so there's a mix of modern high rises and older structures. In fact, my apartment building itself is one of the taller ones in the neighborhood, about 15 stories high. Just a short walk away, there's a major commercial district with several skyscrapers housing offices, shops, and restaurants. There's also a large university campus nearby, my University of Technology and Education, and with a few academic towers and a central library that stands out in the skyline. Plus, a big hospital complex with a few high-rise wings is not far from here. So overall, there's definitely a lot of vertical development around where I live. Do you take photos of buildings? Actually, I don't usually into taking photos of building myself, but I do find them interesting in a different way. I'm more drawn to the sky, its colors, clouds, and the way light changes throughout the day. Sometimes I'll include a building in the background of sky photo to add depth and context, which makes the image feel more dynamic and alive. I'll admit, I'm not particularly fond of photographing beauty on their own. While some are beautifully designed and have a certain charm, most feel too technical or rigid to me. Like they are more about architecture than emotion. I prefer capturing moments that feel natural, expressive. So I tend to focus on landscapes, skies, or people rather than structures. Is there a building that you would like to visit? Yes, I would really love to visit the Apostolic Palace in Vatican City. Actually, it's not just a palace, but the whole complex, including St. Paul's Cathedral, which is a stunning example of res- Renaissance architecture. I've always been fascinated by its significance, especially since it's where Pope Francis lives and works. The idea of walking through those grand halls, surrounded by centuries of religious history and art, is truly inspiring. Plus, being able to see the Sistine Chapel and the Pope's private residence in person would be an unforgettable experience. It's not just a building, it's a symbol of faith, power, and centuries of tradition. So, visiting it would feel like stepping into history. Describe an, a time when you encourage someone to do something that he or she didn't want to do. So I would like to talk about a time when I encouraged my close friend to do something she was really hesitant about, taking a daily morning walk in the sunshine, even though she wasn't keen on it at first. My friend Sarah had been going through a tough period. She was feeling really down, lacking motivation, and struggling with sleep. She would often stay up late, only to wake up exhausted and emotionally drained. After a few weeks of seeing her like this, I noticed she was just tired. She was losing confidence in herself and had started to lose sight of her goals. So I encouraged her to try spending just 10 minutes 10 to 15 minutes each morning working outside in the sunlight, ideally between 7 and 8 a.m. I explained that morning sunlight helped regulate her body's internal clock, boost mood, and can improve sleep quality over time. I also mentioned that even a short work could help clear her mind and give her a sense of routine and purpose. At first, she was really reluctant. She's very conscious about her skin and has always been to particular about keeping it fair and protected. She uses sunscreen every day and avoids direct sunlight, fearing it might darken her skin. She even worried that stepping into the sun might undo all her skincare efforts. But I reassured her that just a short exposure, 10 minutes, wouldn't harm her skin, especially if she wore a hat. But normally I don't do that. And she at least can apply some sunscreen. I also pointed out that her mental health was more important than her skin tone, and that small, consistent steps could make a big difference. Eventually, she gave it a try. To her surprise, she started feeling more alert and feel less anxious after just a few weeks. Over time, she began to enjoy walks, even looking forward to them. She told me she felt more in control of her day and noticed better sleep patterns. So, why did I encourage her? Because to be honest, I've been through this problem once and I don't want to come back to this time. And I truly cared about her well being. I saw how her mental health was affecting in her daily life. And I believe that something simple like morning sunlight could be a small but powerful way to help her regain balance. It wasn't about changing who she was, it was about helping her feel better, one small step at a time. 4 minutes monologue. Oh, I think it's just, I will minimize the explanation, but I think this topic is touch. Do you believe movie reviews? I don't really rely on movie reviews all that much. I mean, I might glance at them just to get a general sense of the plot or the kind of story a film's about. But I wouldn't let them decide what I watch. Honestly, I think everyone has their own preferences. What one person finds thrilling, another might find boring. So while reviews can give you a quick overview, I would rather form my own opinion based on my own taste. After all, movies are such a personal experience, and what works for one person might not work for me at all. What are the different types of films in your country? In Vietnam, films are generally categorized into two main types: domestic Vietnamese films and foreign films. When it comes to local productions, romantic dramas are definitely one of the most popular genres. Many people enjoy heartfelt love stories that reflect everyday life and cultural values. On the other hand, foreign films offer a much wider variety in terms of genre and style. You can find everything from gripping science fiction blockbusters and thrilling action movies to light-hearted comedies, emotionally powerful dramas, animated features, and even spine-chilling horror films. This diversity allows audiences to explore different storytelling techniques and global perspectives, which is why foreign films are especially popular among younger viewers. Are historical films popular in your country? Why? Well, historical films are are not on that popular in my country. To be honest, most people here tend to prefer dramas, romantic stories, or even action movies. However, there are certain times when the government does release historical films, usually around national anniversaries or events like War Remembrance Days. These films are often made to educate the public and honor historical figures or significant moments in Vietnam's past. That said, the topic of history here is quite complex and sometimes controversial, especially when it comes to the different perspectives on events like the war with France or American War. Because of these differing viewpoints, it's actually quite challenging to present a truly balanced or universally accepted historical narrative on screen. As a result, many people aren't particularly drawn to these films, even when they are released. That said, if a historical film includes a compelling love story or personal drama set against a historical backdrop, it tends to do much better because people connect more with emotional, human centered stories, even if they are rooted in the past. Do you think films with famous actors or actresses are more likely to become successful films? I think whether film succeeds depends more on the story and quality than just having famous actors. Though star power can definitely help. In the past, audiences were often drawn to well known names, maybe because they trusted the reputation of big stars or just felt more comfortable watching someone they already recognized. After all, established actors bring experience, credi- credibility, and a built-in fan base, which can boost box office numbers right from the start. But nowadays, people's tastes have evolved. Audiences are more discerning and often value authenticity and strong performances over just celebrity names. In fact, many recent blockbusters have surprised everyone by launching the careers of relatively unknown actors who delivered powerful performances. So, while famous actors can attract attention, it's ultimately the film's scripts, direction, and emotional impact that determine long term success. Plus, seeing fresh faces can feel exciting and refreshing, especially when they bring real talent and depth to their roles. So I would say it's not just about fame, it's about substance. Why are Japanese animated films so popular? Japanese animated films or anime are incredibly popular worldwide for several compelling reasons. First and foremost, the storytelling in anime is often deeply emotional and thought provoking, tackling complex themes like identity, loss, resilience, resilience and human connection in ways that resonate with audiences of all ages. What really sets anime apart is its incredibly detailed artwork and high quality animation. Every frame is carefully crafted with vibrant colors, dynamic movement, and intricate backgrounds that bring each world to life. Plus, the character designs are usually very expensive and memorable, with personalities that feel authentic and relatable, even in fantastical settings. Another key factor is the diversity of genres. Whether it's action packed adventures, heartfelt dramas, or imaginative sci fi, there is something for everyone. And despite being rooted in Japanese culture, many anime explore universal human experiences, making them accessible and meaningful to global viewers. Overall, it's the perfect blend of artistic excellence, emotional depth, and creative storytelling that makes Japanese animated films so widely loved. Should the director pay a lot of money to famous actors? Well, whether a director should pay a lot of money to famous actors really depends on several factors. On one hand, well-known actors can bring a lot to a film. They often come with built-in audience appeal, box office draw, and a level of credibility that can boost a movie's chances of success. Their experience and star power can also inspire other cast members and elevate the overall production quality. On the other hand, not every film needs A-list talent. In fact, many critically acclaimed movies have been made with relatively unknown or emerging actors. A skilled director can still deliver a powerful performance and compelling story through strong direction, a great script, and effective casting. Plus, if the budget is limited, spending a huge sum on star salaries might not be practical. Ultimately, it's about balancing artistic vision with financial reality. Sometimes a fresh face can be just as effective, if not more so, than a famous name. So, while big name actors can help, they are not essential. What really matters is the quality of storytelling and the director's ability to bring it to life.